Hello, Ronnie Angel here of Next Level Fitness and Healing. I'd like to go over just kind of a general stretching program that you can do to loosen yourself up first thing in the morning. I really like doing this. One of my morning routines is get up. I do 20 minutes of Qigong first thing in the morning to really get my energy, build my energy up for the day. And then I do this stretching. It's kind of more flowing back and forth to one exercise to the next. Now, don't hold it any more than about 1 to 2 breaths. And I'm always paying attention if I'm tighter on one side more than the other. And if you notice that along the way, if you are tighter on one side than the other, double stretch that one side. So if I'm tighter on the right, do my left, and then come back to the right again. But just make note of that. That's why it's really important not to overstretch any one of these stretches unless you've been, unless you've possibly seen a Czech practitioner like myself. Being a Czech practitioner, when we look or do a very detailed postural analysis with our clients, we really look at that muscle imbalance as it may be, that the muscles that are tight that we need to stretch, and then the muscles that are weak that we need to strengthen. That's a very detailed program that we build for our clients after doing a very detailed postural analysis. Then that way we can really address imbalances, and then you'll hold these stretches a little bit longer, whatever we prescribe, or a strength training program to help create those balances, create balance back in your posture during your corrective exercise phase. But today, like I said, it's just kind of general, me being an endurance athlete. My hips stay tight all the time, but I'll hit a little bit of everything and I'll flow through this as quickly as possible. It usually takes about 15 minutes, but like I said, if I feel some spots a little bit tighter, I may hold that a little bit more, like 3 breaths, maybe even up to 5 breaths. But I'll just walk through this fairly quickly today just to get a guideline of how to flow. And like I said, just pay attention to what your body is telling you, because that's what it's all about. Always listening to what your body is telling you. That's the biggest thing. The more that you can do that, during stretching, during nutrition, all of those areas, listen to your body always. It always knows best. So what I do is I just start here laying down, arms out to the side. What I do is usually take about 3 breaths, just nice, relaxing, deep breaths. Just try to center myself. Really thinking about my diaphragm, my belly button, my belly raising first 2/3 of my breath, last third into my chest, and then just breathing it all right back out. My tongue is to the roof of my mouth. One more big deep breath. Diaphragm is lifting, or the belly is lifting with the diaphragm dropping. Then up into my chest. And then I'll grab my right knee and pull it into my chest. This kind of stretching more my glute or your butt, some hamstring, and like I said, about 1 to 2 breaths. And then I'm bringing it back out, all the way back down, and grabbing the left leg, bringing that to my chest. Pulling it in, feeling that stretch in the glutes, a little bit in the hamstrings possibly. 2 breaths there, 1 to 2. Then back down. Then I'll bring them both together and then bring them into my chest. And one thing to note is if you have any type of herniated discs in the lumbar region, do not do these 2 stretches I just got done showing you right there. That's just going to exacerbate that herniated disc. It may feel better in the short term, but it won't take care of it. So from here then, as I'm here with my knees to my chest, I'm just going to work my feet up and down, back and forth to kind of loosen my ankles up. And then I'm going to rotate my feet. Rotate in one direction, both of them at the same direction. And then I'm going to go back the other direction. Just to kind of loosen those ankles up for the day. All right, while I'm here in this position, I'm going to put my arms out to the side in a T position and just let my body drop over. My knees are bent at a 90-degree angle. Let them drop over to the side. Get a little bit of a stretch
in the low back, thoracic spine, upper back, even in my hip. And then I'm gonna bring it back over. I'm gonna breathe in as I come up. Then I'm gonna breathe out as I go down and allow it to fall to the other side. Just breathe, notice any tightness. I start to notice some tightness here. The shoulders coming up off the ground, so through my chest. I feel a little bit more of my tight in my left hip. So I would come back to this again if I wanted to. Back to the center. Then I drop my legs out wide as I'm still staying in this 90-degree bent position, grabbing my knees and pulling them out. So I'm feeling this in my adductors on the inner part of my thighs. I'm feeling this stretch through there. 2 breaths. Then I'm bringing them back together, feet back down on the ground, arms back out as a T. I'm gonna take my feet double shoulder width apart, and then I'm gonna start to bring my knees in together. I should feel this deep in my internal rotators of the hip as I'm working on bringing the knees together. Feeling that stretch deep in my hips. And then back. Now I'm going to start to go to my hamstrings. So if I have a strap, a yoga strap, a belt, something like that's really good that you can use to help you assist in this. So I'm going to wrap this around my foot. So I'll be able to get a little bit extra stretch on my calf when I do this stretch. So here I'm pulling my leg back towards my head. First off, I'm not really flexing the foot too much. I'm not dorsiflexing, in other words, pulling my toes back towards my shin. Not yet, because I don't want to hit that calf right yet. So I should be feeling this right behind the leg, behind the hamstring. And then I'm gonna come up out of it a little bit. Now I'm gonna flex that foot, so now I'm gonna feel a little bit more in the calf. And then I'm gonna pull it back to me again. I'll feel this in my calf. More of the gastroc with the leg being straight. You should feel it potentially coming in behind the knee as well. Like I said, it goes across 2 joints, the gastroc does, so behind the knee and also the ankle. So now I'm going to, since I have my right leg up, I am going to pull on the left side. I'm allowing my foot to roll inward. So now I'm going to start to get a stretch on the outside of my lower leg. That'll be a really nice stretch too. I do a lot of trail running, so I really work that area. It feels good to stretch it out. All right, bring it back to center. Now I'm allowed to go across my body. I'm gonna take my right hand underneath of my hip so I can make sure my butt stays on the ground. I'm gonna allow that leg to come over as far as it can across my body till I start to feel the butt start to come up. And I'm gonna stay right there and breathe. I should be feeling the stretch right there. I'll do 2 breaths. And then now I'm allowed to come all the way over my body. My right arm is going to go back out. My palm is facing upward. I'm going to look over into that palm and allow my leg to fall all the way to the ground or as close as I can get it. I should feel this all the way through the thoracic spine, lumbar spine, the hip region, even the hamstring too. So I got 2 breaths here. I'm gonna breathe in as it comes back up. I'm gonna switch hands, grab it with my right hand. Now I'm gonna let my right leg continue to open up. I'm gonna left arms out to the side. I'm looking into my left hand and letting that leg fall open. Should be feeling this in my hip and my adductors of the right leg. And potentially, if you're even really tight, you may even feel it some where the teres fasciolati is at, right there at the hip bone. And then I'm gonna bring it back up. And then I'm gonna bring my left leg up, let my right ankle come down to my left knee. And then I'm gonna push down, let go of the strap. I'm gonna push down on my knee, pushing it away from my body. I'll be feeling this deep in my hip as I'm pushing down. 2 breaths. Just nice and easy. And of course, anytime during these stretches you feel any intense pain or sharp pain, stop. Now I'm going to switch directions and bring that knee to the opposite armpit. So I'm going to pull it into the opposite armpit. So this right knee is being pulled into my left armpit. I should be really feeling this in my piriformis area, the external rotators, even in some glutes, med and max. All right, after 2 breaths, I'm gonna relax and bring it back down. What I'm here, while I'm already in this position, I'm gonna go ahead and hit my left iliacus. So I'm gonna go ahead and let that right leg fall deep into over my left leg, left knee. I'm gonna pull my left heel as close to my butt as possible. I'm gonna put my left arm up above my head, and then I'm gonna let my left knee drop to the right. So I'm gonna allow it to fall to the right, keeping that shoulder, my left shoulder on the ground, just breathing and relaxing. I should feel this stretch deep in this hip region, even a little bit maybe in the obliques, but definitely around that hip region, the top part of the iliacus, or iliac crest, where the iliacus connects. Allow it to fall just deep. Great stretch. The hip flexor complex is what we're working here. People that sit a lot, run, this area gets tight. So it's a really great stretch to work along with the psoas, but we'll be hitting that a little bit later on. All right, now I'm gonna switch to the other side. Now I'm gonna go to the left side, working the hamstring first. I'm gonna wrap the strap around my foot. Leg is up, keeping the foot relaxed, not having it flexed yet. So now I'm pulling the foot back towards my head, feeling this in my hamstring, back part of my leg. Should be feeling it down the back part of my leg here. Just 2 breaths, don't want to overstretch it, just loosening everything up. Now I want to come out of it a little bit. Now I want to flex that foot, bringing the foot back towards my shin, dorsiflexing it, and then I'm going to pull it back towards my head. You know, I should be feeling this in, like I said, the gastroc, the big muscle group that you see on the back side, the calf, the lower leg there. Potentially feeling it some even in the heel where it connects into the cancus, the heel bone. And then I'm going to relax. Now I'm going to pull with my right hand, and I'm going to let that foot roll inward. Now I'm going to be feeling it on the outside of the foot, outside of the lower leg. 2 breaths, nice and easy. Relax, come back to center. Now I'm going to put my left hand up underneath my hip, allow my leg to come across till I start to feel that hip come off my hand, and just get that stretch deep in that hip area. 2 breaths. Now I'm going to put my left hand out to the side, palm is up, looking into my palm, and allow my hand to fall over, allow my leg to fall over to the opposite side, to the right side. Feeling this in thoracic, lumbar, hip. Good stretch all the way across. 2 breaths. Just noticing I don't feel any tightness anywhere. Different than the other side. Now I'm going to breathe in as I'm bringing it back across, switching hands, grabbing it with my left hand, allowing it to drop open down to the side, allowing it to open up. Feeling this in the adductor of the left leg. For me, I'm tight there in the teres fasciolatis, in this hip joint there, so I'm feeling that stretch in that area as well. So you possibly could be feeling it there too. So bringing it back, bending that right knee, letting the left foot put on the right knee. Now I'm gonna push my left knee away from my body, feeling this deep in the hip. 2 breaths. Nice and relaxed. You want to stay relaxed. You don't ever want to force any of your stretches. Switch. I'm going to bring my knee across my body into the opposite armpit, into my right armpit. You want to be gentle with your stretches. You don't ever want to force them or be tight. Just like If someone asks you to go out or something like that, they go, "Hey, Ronnie, come on, let's go out and have a good time, man." I'm happier to go along instead of just, "Come on, man, let's go." You know, it's a whole different type of energy. So that's what you want to think about your stretches, just a nice, gentle stretch. Okay, so now I'm going to do the iliacus on the right side, so letting that left leg drop across and that knee. I'm going to bring that right heel as close as I can to my butt. I'm going to let that right arm come up and above my head. I'm going to let the right knee fall to my left. Working on keeping that right shoulder on the ground. Just breathe and relax. Just relax into it. Just a nice, gentle stretch. And then relax and come back up and down. I'll put my legs out and just kind of get a feel where I'm at. All right, then I'm going to roll over on my stomach and start to work my quads. So from here, I'm going to turn my head opposite of the leg I'm going to stretch. I'm going to stretch my right leg first, so I'm going to reach back. For some reason, if you're not able to reach your leg, you can always use the strap to connect. So you can always connect your foot, the strap, and use that if you need to. So that's a way. So I'm looking opposite, and I'm pulling that quad, bringing that heel towards my butt, just nice and relaxing. Let it fall as deep as it wants to go. Don't force anything. Nice and relaxed. All right, relax and switch sides. Just relax. Just breathe. Every time you exhale, just let yourself fall deeper into that stretch. Nice and relaxed. Good. And relax and let it come down. And then from here, I kind of go into like a cobra pose to be able to stretch my rectus abdominis. Even some hip flexors just coming up. Just relaxing, keeping those shoulders down. Good stretch. 2 breaths. Relax and come down. Then I'm going to go to extended child's pose. And that way I can really get some lat stretch through here. Also low back, potential even quadriceps as well. So I'm really extending those hands, extending those arms. Just relaxing. Should be feeling this in my lats all through this area here. Lumbar, potentially even the quads. So I'm just breathing and relaxing deep into this stretch. Very good. And then from here, I'm going to come up to all fours. I'm going to be on all fours. And then what I'm going to do here is cat camel. So as I breathe out, I'm going to arch my back up, and my chin is going to come tucked, and my pelvis will be tucked. So I'm really stretching up as high as I can. Then I'm going to go the other direction as the inhalation. Inhale. Really bringing the chin up, tucking the tailbone the other direction. I'm going to do 5 of these just to help get some mobility in my spine. Doing it with my breath. So inhale. Exhale in the camel. Just nice and easy, really working that spine, being gentle. Let's do one more. Just nice and easy. I'm gonna come back to neutral, come back to here. Here I'm gonna work my rhomboids, which is right in between my shoulder blades. I'm gonna do like a thread the needle. So I'm gonna come up, and then I'm gonna reach through. Reaching through, really reaching that hand all the way through, kind of pushing that shoulder towards your ground, but not letting it go to the ground. Really feeling it in between those shoulder blades, especially on the right side right now. If you're tight in other areas, like in the lumbar, you may even feel it some in that area too as well. So 2 breaths. Coming back up, switching sides, the left side. So I'm looking up, twisting up into the air. And then I'm coming through, really stretching through there. Working that area in between the shoulder blades. Good. Bringing it back to neutral right there. And then what I'm going to do here is come up in like a downward dog. Getting a little bit more in the hamstrings as well. Now I'm going to pump the calves a little bit. Just pump these 2 times each on each side. Then I'm going to bend the knees and stretch them both at the same time to get that gas, to get the soleus. So I'm really pushing those heels towards your ground, slight bent knee, pushing those heels towards your ground, feeling that stretch. And relax. And coming out of it, before I go to standing, I want to go ahead and cross my legs. I want to cross my legs. From here, I'm going to sit up tall, bring my chest up, and let my body fall forward, feeling this in my hips. Right now, I have my left one crossed over my right. Keeping that chest up, falling forward. Now I'm going to switch sides. So now I'm going to have my left end tight and my right chest is up. And I'm falling forward. Noticing the difference in the 2 sides. Relaxing, coming up. Now I'm going to hit those psoases a little bit deeper. So what I want to do here is, the psoas is right through this area right here, and even some rectus femoris. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to be in a lunge position, 90 degrees here. You can have that foot out just a little bit more, toe turned in, so that way I'm working that whole fascia chain along with this whole stretch. So what I want to do is, so like my belly button, so what I want to do is rotate it up, or I want to do like a posterior tilt, like my pelvis is a bowl. I want to pull water out of the backside. So I want to roll that up. And as soon as I do, I should feel a stretch right in that area right there. I'm going to hold that stretch all the way through. That's the most important thing. Shift my weight forward a little bit. It's going to take it a little bit further down the leg. Now what I want to do, if you want to take this stretch a little bit further, fingers are spread, turn your palms back like this, and then come up and over. So you're going to be feeling this all down through that area, even through there. Come back out of it the same way you went into it. Shift my weight back and down. So I'm going to switch sides. So I'm here 90 degrees, just a little bit past that. Toe turned in on the back side. I'm going to tilt my pelvis up. Feeling that stretch right through there. Palms open, hand is back, coming up and over. Keeping that pelvis tilted like you're pulling water out of the backside of your hips. Really working that hip flexor. Feeling that stretch. Slowly come back out of it the same way you went into it. And then down. Then I like to go ahead and hit my triceps a little bit. Right arm over your head, hand behind your back, grabbing at your elbow, pulling your elbow down or across towards the center line of your head or your body. So that way you're really getting a deep stretch in the tricep region area.
And relax and come down, switch sides. And down. And relax. If you happen to have, knowing you have a tightness in your rotator cuffs, or you've had an injury or something like that, so if you can put your hands behind your back, and then you can notice a difference. So like for me, this hand's a little bit different. So what you can do, you want to get them back into balance. So what I can do here is I'll put this here behind me, hook my hand, and pull this up to really work that rotation, external rotation there in that shoulder. If I wanted to work internal, I could just pull it down and relax and do the other side. That's if you need that or not. So that's a nice little flow that I go through each day. And like I said, pay attention to what your body is feeling. What does it feel like? What side's tight? Make note of those things. And like I said, if you're in a lot of pain, a lot of times doing foam roll and these stretching exercises can really help loosen you up. But like I said, if you're in a lot of pain, or you notice looking in the mirror or something that you're out of balance, then definitely go see a CHEK practitioner to be able to help you do a detailed postural analysis and create a very detailed stretching and strengthening program to address any issues you got. And then of course, if you do working with a CHEK practitioner, we're also going to be addressing your lifestyle factors and also your nutrition at the same time, because if your gut health is not good, if your internal organs are not good and healthy, there's no way the body is going to loosen up and the way the body is going to work the way that it needs to be able to work, because your internal health needs to be the most important thing. Your body is just reflecting what's going on the inside. So I hope you enjoyed that and you find that as a rhythm moving into your daily things. I know I feel great when I do it. Hope you do too. Take care. Stay healthy. Stay hydrated.